The surface area of a polyhedron is the area of all the faces added together. In a prism and a cylinder, we have a base that is the same all the way through that solid. The lateral area of a prism and a cylinder is part of the surface area. It's the area without the area of the two bases. So the lateral area of a prism and a cylinder is the area of all the sides added together without the bases. So if I want to come up with a formula for the lateral area of a prism or a cylinder, I'm going to take the perimeter of the base and multiply that by the height of the prism or cylinder. So P stands for perimeter of my base, and H is the height of the prism. Now don't get this H confused with the height of the base. This is the height of the prism. I'm going to show you an illustration of what I'm talking about. If I have a circle or a rectangle, and I extend that circle into the third dimension, or I extend this rectangle into the third dimension, I end up with the sides of a prism. So the lateral area is the area of all of these faces added together. The lateral area is the area of this surface added together. If I look at this shape as a two-dimensional object, this circle is really the perimeter, the circumference of the circle, and this rectangle is really the perimeter of the rectangle. And when I extend that shape into the third dimension, I get the sides of my prism or cylinder. Now to figure out the surface area, I want to take my lateral area and add in my two bases. I want to add in my top and my bottom. So I want to add in two base areas. So the formula for surface area of a prism and a cylinder is the lateral area and a top and a bottom, two base areas. Let's look at an example. I have a cylinder because I have a circle that extends all the way through my solid. So the first thing I want to do is draw out my base. In this case, my base is a circle. And that circle is going to have a radius of 5. It's going to be half of 10. So to find the perimeter of this shape, I'm going to find the circumference of this circle. So I'm going to take 2 times pi times 5, which simplifies down to 10 pi. To find my base area, I'm going to find the area of this circle, which is going to be pi times my radius squared, simplified down to 25 pi. So my lateral area is going to be the perimeter of my base times the height of my prism, which is going to be 10 pi times the height of my prism is 10, which simplifies down to 100 pi, and that's going to be in units squared because I'm talking about area. This cylinder has a lateral area of 100 pi. The area of this shape, of just the sides of this cylinder, is 100 pi. To find the surface area, I'm going to take my lateral area and add in 2 base areas. I'm going to add in the top and the bottom. So I'm going to take 100 pi and add 2 times 25 pi, which simplifies down to 100 pi plus 50 pi. I just took 2 times 25 pi. I can add my pi's, they're like terms, 150 pi. And that also is going to be in units squared. So the surface area, the area of all the faces of this shape, is 150 pi units squared. In example 2, I first want to identify my base. In this case, I have a triangular prism. And that triangle base has side lengths of 12 and 12 and 12. So when I redraw my base, I want to make sure to redraw my base as an equilateral, equiangular, regular triangle, where each side is 12. So the perimeter of my base is going to be 12 plus 12 plus 12, 36. And my base area is going to be 1/2 times the base of my shape times the height. Well, in this case, when I draw in this height, this altitude, from here to here is going to be 6, which means that my altitude, my height, is going to be 6 square roots of 3. So I have 1/2 times 12 times 6 square roots of 3, which simplifies down to 1/2 of 12 is 6. 6 times 6 square roots of 3 is 36 square roots of 3. At this point, I just need to plug in to my 2 formulas. The lateral area is going to be the perimeter of my base times the height of my prism. The perimeter of my base is 36, and the height of my prism is 10. Be careful. The height of my base is 6 square roots of 3. I do not want to plug 6 square roots of 3 in right here. I want this number to be the height of my prism, 10. 360 units squared. The surface area is going to be my lateral area and a top and a bottom. So I want my lateral area, 360, and a top and a bottom, 2 36 square roots of 3's. Simplify that down, I have 360 and 2 times 36 square roots of 3 is 72 square roots of 3. I can't add these because these are unlike terms. This is my answer in simplified form.